Alright, what's up everybody? Welcome back to another cleaning video. This is obviously a cleaning of my MacDev XDR. Let's go ahead and pull it out. Oh, it's on. That sucks. Alright, so this is my green and black MacDev XDR. Nothing special about it other than it just shoots nicely. MacDev used to be popular back in the day. Now they're more popular, I believe, like in the more foreign countries and overseas. But there's still an amount of people out there that still like their guns, markers. I know they're releasing a new one at World Cup, it looks like, and I will actually be at World Cup, so I'll get to see the new marker. But yeah, and then I'm in the Dynasty Champs Club, so if anyone's out there that's watching this and will be there, try to find me. I'll try to find you. But yeah, let's go ahead and dive into this cleaning of the MacDev XDR. I do have the single trigger frame, mechanical frame, but when I played with this one, it was in Reno, and it got really dusty because I was crawling around the dirt. So let's see here. Let's go ahead and start. Bolt. Pull that out first. I'm gonna do a pretty decent clean on this. I'll try to do it quickly as well, but I probably shouldn't take this off. It's always a pain to get back on. But I want to get a good thorough clean on this bad boy because it got real dusty. I was literally crawling down in like the sagebrush because we don't have really any trees. But here we go. It's been a minute since I think I played with this like 2 weeks ago. So it's been a minute since I've made a video for cleaning. I did the Champs Club, Dynasty Champs Club unboxing video. If anyone watched that. That gift was pretty awesome. I'm going to bring it with me to World Cup in hopes to see if I can get the team to sign those cards. And then I think that'd be really cool. But yeah, you can see like there's dust, dirt from crawling around, so I'm gonna give it a good wipe down. I'll have to get a wet towel rag, but because I did do that, I'm just gonna take the frame off. Just because, pretty much. I always like to baby my markers. Do a real thorough clean, whether they need it or not. Doing so has never failed me, so I will just continue to do that. But yeah, weather's changing out there, so you know, the colder months are upon us, coming soon. It's been a little the warmth here in Nevada, northern Nevada, has been delayed. Or I guess his departure has been delayed. It's been pretty warm still for being end of October. Even October, like the month of, was pretty warm. Usually it starts getting pretty cold right at the end of September. And then we start getting you know, rain, lots of rain, just cold weather and stuff. But it's held out for, say, the last month. But yeah, I think these markers, the XDR, I think's way underrated. I know it's not as fancy and all the high tech as the playing clips and dye and all the other markers, but I have never had an issue with this. Well, one little issue, playing in, like, the temperature was, I want to say, like 7 degrees is really cold, and it had an issue with that. But other than that, I've had no issues with this marker. Yeah, it's, I don't know. If you got some extra cash, because you can pick them up real cheap now, especially with their new marker coming, GTX or whatever it is. We'll see at World Cup what it looks like in person. But if you have some extra cash, I'd recommend one of these. Especially because you can pick them up real cheap, and probably even cheaper soon now that the new one's coming out. But yeah, let's go ahead and clean out the breech here. Actually, first we will get the eye covers off. If I knew which one. But yeah, I've never been to an NXL event. Nothing big, national, never been anything like that. The only thing I had been to is a long time ago, 2006, a XPSL, which I believe was the old Pan Am back in the day. The old school guys will remember that. It was in Vegas, near Vegas, I guess, called in a city town called Jean, Nevada. Jean. There was nothing really there besides like a hotel and like another hotel that looked like a boat in the desert. And I don't know, it was cold. It was winter months, very cold, very windy and dusty. And this is back, before some, like, now it'd be unheard of if the NXL is playing anything on other than like grass or turf. I know there's always those occasions where like they go somewhere and it's supposed to be grass and ends up being more like dirt, I guess, but I don't think that's happening in a minute for the NXL. But back then this was in like an old parking lot. There was still like asphalt that had just decayed away, I guess, really. And dirt on top of that, and they were playing in that, so super dusty, super sandy. Well, not sandy because it was mostly playing on chunks of asphalt. I did not play, I just watched, but was supporting local teams that I played practice with back then. And yeah, it was pretty gnarly. But the main point of that was that's the only like bigger tournament league that I've actually been to. One, because there's no paintball in Northern Nevada. There's a lot of people that play paintball, but there is no organized field whatsoever here. Business field, whatever. So, like, people that move from California to here, they post up on Facebook in the group I play with in Reno, asking where the field is, and there is not. There is no field. There hasn't been one. I want to say probably since like 2000, I don't even know, 14, 15 maybe is when the one in Reno closed. But yeah, it's been a while. There's the remains of a real popular field in Fernley, Nevada, which is about probably like an hour from me. It's at the Fernley racetrack. That owner, he got sick and then had to move. And it closed, and no one's ever, like, the people that own the racetrack out there, I reached out to them. They said they want to do something, but they don't really have the money or whatever to invest. And then I thought about just doing like some monthly or weekend rentals, to like just rent time there and just give them something. But then it was going to be real costly, and they wanted obviously like to have an insurance policy and things like that so that didn't pan out. But is what it is. I still hope one day there's going to be one, or a field here, or I win the lottery or mega bucks and buy some land and open a field. Because as I mentioned on pretty much all my previous videos, there's the closest field is Dave Bain's Capital Edge Paintball Park in Sacramento. So I go there a lot. But yeah. Anyway, back to that tournament. It was Vegas. What was I saying? Then I was like, there's no field around here. But yeah, pretty much I haven't played in, I want to say like 2 weeks, 2 or 3 weeks. That's when I last used this. And so when I get back from World Cup, I get back on Veterans Day, and then I work Tuesday through Friday, and then that Saturday I will be going to Capital Edge Paintball Park's annual anniversary game. That's really fun. Pretty much just a shooting fest, just shoot people and have fun. A lot of raffles are giving out, raffle prizes and stuff like that, and it's a lot of fun. So I'll be going there. Usually there's a couple Dynasty guys there too, so that'll be cool to see them, say hi. Hopefully I get to see them and they win World Cup. That'd be really cool. The first NXL event I go to is World Cup, and then on top of that, to see Dynasty win World Cup for the 5th time in a row would be amazing. So no hate to all the other pro teams. I like watching a lot of the people on the other teams and stuff, but Dynasty's always been my favorite. Once again, shout out to the boys in blue. Good luck, and hopefully I will see you there at World Cup 2024. But yeah, you know what else I'd like to see? One of the pros that I want to see do well on a team, or their team to win that they're on, is Thomas Taylor. I actually saw him at that tournament in Jean, Nevada that I was talking about just a little bit ago. He was there with Rich Telford, I believe. That was in 2006, so that was at the height of the golden era, as we all say, of paintball, or the start of the golden era, when it was basically excessive versus Dynasty, constantly back and forth for the first place, basically titles and championships. I saw Rich Telford and Thomas Taylor there, and they might have been scouting. I'm not sure. I'm not sure, but it was cool to see them. So the one of the pros that I always hope does well is Thomas Taylor. No matter what team he's on, I always like to think and wish the best for him when he's playing. Even though I prefer Dynasty to win, it'd be cool to see Thomas, and now he's on NYX. Cool to see them come in second. Second place would be nice. But yeah, I'm excited for World Cup. Like I said, I've never been there, so I don't know. Like, I'm assuming all the vendors will be there. It'll be super cool to walk around and just check all the tents out and the new stuff that gets released. So yeah. And I was getting my whole gear bag and everything ready for the anniversary game, because it's the weekend after I get back from World Cup. So I want to just be able to go to that and play afterwards. Let's see. I want to need a wet cloth or a canned air. Blow some of this dust off from all the nooks and crannies. But as I mentioned, I've had no issues with this marker. To me, it's more of a mechanical shot, whether you have the mechanical frame on there or not. Just the response from shooting just feels like it's more of a mechanical movement compared to just the soft puffs and all that Eclipse has, and a lot of the higher end new age markers. But as y'all know, I've mentioned before, I grew up shooting spiders and autocockers, mechanical autocockers before the E-blade ever existed, and then the E2 and all that. But so having a marker where you feel like a reaction when you pull the trigger is nice to me. So I like this. Like I said, you can pick them up way cheap used. So good marker. I think I should adjust the trigger a little, because everything, I'd originally do the trigger so I could walk it, but now everything's pretty much ramp. Pretty much stops when it clicks. Yeah. Maybe just take some of the forward travel out, which I don't know which one that is, so it's probably this one. Let's see. Not that it matters if you can walk it or not, because even playing in Reno, I don't usually do semi anymore. Imagine if we all had to go back to semi-auto. Say they did 10.2 cap, semi-auto. Everyone would be like, plup, 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 plup. Like, they wouldn't have a constant at all. It's been so many years. Some people out there, though, they have good fingers, good trigger fingers. Some still walk the trigger even though you just, keep a constant pull on it and it'll just do it. So, good for them. That's what I still do, I guess, because that's what I grew up doing. But yeah, so this is pretty clean. I don't usually take the rigs apart unless there's an issue. I know by then it's too late, but I do put some drops of oil in there to get through solenoid and all that. But let's put this to the side. When I first got this, like right out of the box, it leaked both frames because the rag is in the frame just like every other marker, and it was leaking from there. And I was like, oh no, brand new marker, and was worried and this and that. And then I took it apart, pulled the rag out, and I've mentioned before, I don't like Dow 33 lube, and so when I opened up the marker, it was in there, so I immediately gutted it, wiped it all off of every part I could find, and then re-lubed it with Outlast HMP. This stuff's like gold to try and get now. I don't think you even can, but I used that, and then immediately stopped leaking, shot perfectly fine. And chrono, actually with this marker, chrono is always very consistent, which is always nice to see. Obviously, you know, that depends on paint, boring the match, or matching the bore size to the paint and barrel and all that, and you know, that's a huge factor. But even then, it's still really consistent. Do a little buff polish through the breach there. All right. So I think that's pretty clean. There is under there. Let's see if we can fit this rag under there. I don't like taking the feed neck off if I don't have to. So I try to just wiggle a rag under there, and it's real small, let's see, gap there, and just try and get any dust out of there. But yeah, looking good. Looking good. If anyone has one of these, just be sure when taking the frames off, you know, be careful of the O-rings here. See, can you see them? That one there, and this one over here. Just be careful those stay put. Same with on the frames. If you have the electric frame and the mech frame here, just make sure no O-rings fall out or anything like that, and they stay put. Otherwise, when you go to put it together and gas it up, it will leak. Alright, so then those two items are clean. Those parts are all clean. Wipe all that off. The grips, I'll probably take a toothbrush to. I don't really have any water in here. So what I'll do is take those to the sink. But let's take the bolt apart. Is that O-ring supposed to be? Yeah, it's supposed to be. I don't know why it's yellow. I forget. I must have changed it at some point. On this bolt, the yellow O-ring. Something happened. I changed it. Don't remember why or when. But yeah. Trying to make this a quick video. But it looks like my camera's gonna die here in a couple minutes. So when it does, I'll stop, switch the battery, and just come right back. I thought I'd be quicker, but no big deal. I just wipe off all the old grease. And then reapply new. But yeah, when I used this a few weeks ago, this shot perfectly. Really, really pleased with this marker for it's like a mid-end price range. MacDev's been around for a long time, but they kind of fell off the charts of like being one of the. All right, we're back. Sorry about that, guys. The battery died in the camera, but here we are. Still cleaning. I forgot what I was saying when it died, so but I think it's time to re-lube and put back together. Let's do the feed neck, if I remember how. Feed neck on. Let's see if we get. There we go. Feed neck on. Do detents. Eye covers. I really wish MacDev would have done a little more like things to support this marker. I mean, they came out with the mech frame and stuff like that, but like it would have been cool if it came with a better barrel, because it's hard to match this grain with anything on the market other than I guess like sending out to an anodizer. But the stock barrel is just 689, so you can't use any inserts. And I have a Freak and use that for all of them, all the markers. So, but it's still a great marker in my opinion. IMO. All right, let's put the frame back on. But yeah, well, in the comments for whoever watches this, put in the comment what your favorite marker is. I would say my favorite marker would be the Ego, whether it's the 06, 08, 07, 9, 10, 11, LV, LV2. I like the Ego overall. So my favorite would be the Ego. But that's not to say that I've shot a lot of other markers and I like all those too, and I own a bunch of different ones, so I can't say like, oh, this. I'm not one to say which one's better than the other, because in reality all markers shoot pretty close to the same, or they do the same thing. It's just, you know, the shot softer, or this, that, whatever. But my favorite's the Ego. But put in the comments, tell me what your favorite is. There are some markers I've never shot. Like, I've never shot a Lux. I've never shot any of the new age shockers. The last shocker I shot was a Shocker SFT when it was still under Smart Parts. So, like I said, there's some I've never shot, so I can't really say on those. But I'm like, nowadays, like, markers are pretty good. They've all come a very long way from where they've began. So, you know, nowadays it's kind of just what you prefer yourself. I lean towards Planet Eclipse markers, but I have a lot of older markers and obviously this XDR. But that's also, you know, 20-something years of playing and gathering different markers. A lot of them I bought used. But like I said, put in the comments what your favorite is, and I'll read it. Let's see. What do I usually do? Squirt a little in there. I usually put some in the inside of here and on the bolt. Just to keep everything lubed up. And again, I've had no issues with this marker other than that one time when it was really cold, it wouldn't fire. But it just kind of depends. A lot of markers will do that depending on like temperature, the lube you're using, stuff like that. There was a video I saw not too long ago, and it might have been an older one, from, I think it's the guys at Pro Edge. They were out cold weather shooting, I want to say an LV2, another Planet Eclipse, I don't know, a couple markers, and even the ones that were shooting had velocity issues. So maybe that's what the company should start doing. You know, they should keep trying to get lighter, smaller, longer, you know, whatever the ergonomics, they keep changing, stuff like that. More efficient and things like that. Maybe start doing it to where you're guaranteed marker to work. 100% consistency across the board for velocity and everything, with like almost no adjustment. Like out of the box it should do that. You know, the LV you can tune and things like that. But they should start looking at doing that for markers where no matter what temperature or anything, it just works. You know, and for the most part they all do, but like I said, when it gets real cold, it's risky. You're looking at possibly look at that, talking and didn't put the bolt in. You're looking at probably not functioning fully. But it just depends. Depends on demographic, location, temperature, paint, things like that. Lube. You know, thinner lubes, you have a better chance of it working in really cold. Put a little more on here. But it is what it is. It just depends. But all the markers that come out now, there's not much revolutionary things or things that change the market. Because they've done a lot, and it just is what it is until something like a whole new technology kind of comes out. So I don't know. I think it's cool to see new things. It'd be really cool to see some crazy new technology come out for a marker. I can't think of anything, but I'm not really trying hard for that. But I did think of something a long time ago. It was a caulking rod. And the caulking rod to change the IVG, to change your velocity, to where it'd have like the the hex key on it. And then there was a couple companies that came out with that. I know System X was one of them. I actually have that caulking rod in my auto caulker. You know what? I'm gonna do. No, that's good. And it works good. That I just thought of that one day. I was a little kid, and I thought, oh god, this would be easy. But that was a cool thing. But I don't know. All the different bolt designs and stuff like that make it more efficient. It is what it is. Nowadays, most games you would just come off and get air, so it's not like, oh, I need to shoot 2 cases on 1 tank. It's not that. If you're playing any type of NXL style or anything like that, you're gonna get shot out before. But that would be cool. Something new, revolutionary, change the sport, the way markers work or something. I don't know. I just think it'd be cool. It doesn't have to. I mean, it's if you make money, cool. If not, if it just changes something, it'd be cool. But yeah. So we're about done with this one. Get the grips on here. I did put the the Immortal bullet in this thing. I didn't really notice a difference. But yeah, here I am struggling to put the grips on though. But like I said, I like this marker. It's great to me. I've had no issues other than when it was cold. It'd be cool if they came out, which they might. I don't know. I think they said they were having more markers on the way. They have the GTX coming. But it'd be cool if they did another Cyborg. I never owned one, but I knew someone that had one, and it was one of the older style, obviously. And I think it shot really nice back then. And that was in, I don't know, 2005, probably. Maybe 2004. I don't know, but it shot really nice. But yeah. Anyway, so that is the cleaning of my MacDev XDR. Wasn't much involved. You'll see that in all my other cleaning videos, this is basically what I do. I take off the main parts, wipe everything down, and then re-lube. Unless it was really dirty or I got shot in it a bunch, then I would, start getting real in there with Q-tips and things. But other than that, it's nice and good. So I noticed kind of on the like here. Anodizing's kind of wearing, maybe from my hand, my grip. But yeah, if anyone is interested in the MacDev XDRs, you can pick these up real cheap on Facebook Marketplace, probably even eBay. And at that price, it's like, you know, if it gets dinged up or whatever, does it really matter? Probably not. But yeah. Well, anyway, that's the cleaning of the MacDev XDR. I don't have any other video cleaning on the way because I haven't played in a while. But I will have probably some footage from World Cup. So I'll put that on here for you guys to see coming up. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.